Welcome to Connect, powered by the Fulton County Department of Senior Services. I'm your host, Ladisa Onilagu. This show connects you to information, services, and programs that support healthy aging. Not only is healthy aging a priority of Fulton County government and the Department of Senior Services, it is the guide by which we provide the most relevant resources to assist our aging population to remain independent, healthy, and active. National Volunteer Month is recognized across the country every year during the month of April. Volunteers are celebrated for the work they do in our communities. However, the Department of Senior Services understands and values volunteerism on a daily basis. The estimated value of each volunteer hour is $24.96, according to the Independent Sector, a national membership organization that brings together nonprofits, foundations, and corporations to advance the common good. The heartbeat of many organizations is volunteering. It is about giving, contributing, and helping others. Volunteers also benefit from sharing their valuable time, meeting new people, developing new skills, and creating great memories. These are just a few rewards individuals can gain from volunteering. On today's show, we will talk to Tom Umstead, who will share his insight and experience on the importance of volunteering. Later in the show, Chef Joe Engelberg will give you healthy cooking tips, and we'll speak to Andre Gregory, Program Manager, who will provide information about the Department of Senior Services volunteer program. So stay tuned. We're back and glad to have you with us today on Connect. I'm your host, Ladisa Onilagu. Our first guest is Mr. Tom Umstead. Mr. Umstead is a volunteer who is caring, friendly, and loves to make people smile. He volunteers at the Dorothy C. Benson Senior Multipurpose Complex and the Atlanta Ronald McDonald House Charities near Eggleston, where he was named the 2018 Volunteer of the Year. Mr. Umstead even has a room named in his honor for his valuable volunteer service. Mr. Umstead, welcome to Connect. We're so glad to have you here today.
So thank you for asking me.
I want to congratulate you first on the award that you received in 2018. Can you tell us a little bit about your service at the Ronald McDonald House?
Yes, I pick up food from Publix, Kroger's, Trader Joe's, Costco, and take them to both of the houses. One house we feed 50 families, and the other one we feed 31. They have, so all the food that we collect feed those families.
Wow.
They all live approximately 100 to or 300 miles away, so they're far away from their house or their home.
Okay.
It's just a wonderful experience. I take flowers from Trader Joe's. We put them on the tables and in the rooms. And I love playing with the children.
Okay.
I'm a big child, to be honest with you.
So how do you think that makes the children feel as well when you interact with them and they see you caring?
Fantastic. Some people say, well, why do you do that? Doesn't that wear you out? And I say, what I really like about it is that I get to see them go home.
Yes.
And that's the exciting part.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your volunteer experience at Dorothy C. Benson as well.
Well, I was there the first day they opened.
Okay.
And it was the first time that they ever had something like Dorothy Benson's, where they had all three things. Adult day,
Yes.
then the general population, and they had the neighborhood. Jay, who was the first manager, each outfit had their own manager, but she was the key manager. And the first day she said, now, she called me Mr. Tom. She said, Mr. Tom, we need to get some volunteers to teach some classes. And I said, okay. And said, well, you come up with some ideas of some classes. So card playing, ceramics, arts and crafts, building with clay. And she said, well, fine, now you got to find the volunteers to do it. And so the second day, I started teaching 10 classes at all the 3 places. It's unbelievable. It was a great experience. It gave me an opportunity to go out in the neighborhood and get some other volunteers to do what I was doing. I found people who were better qualified and could do better jobs.
Yes.
And as soon as I could, I kind of retired from that responsibility.
Okay.
From that point, the different ones had different needs. For the adult day, we found plants and flowers for their customers, I called them.
Yes, they are
And
customers.
we still do that to today.
So what motivates you to volunteer? Have you always done this, or is it something new that you just
No, I've
encountered in
always done
life?
it.
So what's the motivating factor behind it?
Well, my doctors say it keeps me alive.
Okay.
I do it 7 days a week. I get up 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I volunteer approximately 50 hours a week. 18 or 19 of the hours is at Benson, but the other is the Ronald McDonald Scottish Rite Hospital. I have soup kitchens and missions, and that's what keeps me going. I just really love it. I get more out of it than they do. And I love to interact with the stores like Publix or Kroger's or Costco or Trader Joe's. It makes it a fun game.
Okay.
I can see what I can get them to donate.
So you're putting a lot of us to shame getting up at 4:30 a.m. every morning. My goodness, how do you do that? And just talk to our viewers who would be interested in volunteering and to become maybe the next Tom Umstead at Benson.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. It's my motivation. I've always gone to bed early, 8:30 and 9.
Okay.
And all doctors tell you every hour you get before 12 is like 2 hours. So I just wake up before. I don't have a alarm or anything, but I just get up at 4:30. It takes me about 30 minutes to get up. I have a few arthritis things that I have to warm up, but from that, I'm always at the first Publix store before 6.
Okay.
And we now are in 50 Publix stores. I have a couple hundred volunteers also.
Okay.
That
So
helped me.
what's the place to start? Where do they start if someone wants to volunteer,
Well,
either at one of our
they-
facilities or in the community?
Yeah, this is my spiritual gift, and everybody has a spiritual gift. And so they have to find out what they want to do.
Okay.
And then they find a 501c who needs their services. And we have almost 46,000 501c in Georgia. We have over 1 million nationwide.
Okay.
And so people say what their services. I always tell them great places are churches, food kitchens. So many outfits now have pantries, schools. I know in Cobb County we just opened our 26th food pantry in a school.
My goodness, that's amazing. So you've said to our viewers, make sure that they find what they love to do.
That's right.
Tap into that first. It's a ministry to you, so they should consider all types of opportunities within their community or local churches. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers today?
Well, I can't tell them how much fun it is,
Okay.
but the fun comes from them doing what they want to do.
Well, Mr. Umstead, thank you so much for joining us today. I believe that the information you shared was so beneficial to our viewers and will be helpful in inspiring others to join us in volunteering in Fulton County government or in your community. Up next for you, we have Perfectly Seasoned and the Department of Senior Services Volunteer Experience with Andre Gregory. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hi, thank you for watching Perfectly Seasoned, the cooking segment of the Fulton County Department of Senior Services. Today, we're making everybody's favorite beverage a smoothie. And you know, you can make a smoothie in just about any way you want to. Some people make it with vegetables, and some people make it with all fruit, and some people mix the two, and just about any other way you can think to make it, you can make a smoothie. We're gonna make one today with just a little bit of fruit and some Greek yogurt. So the first thing that I'm gonna start with is some strawberries. So I have some fresh strawberries here. I sliced them up a little bit earlier. I'm gonna pop those right in the blender. And that's gonna be the first ingredient that we're gonna have. And second, I'm gonna put in some blueberries. I have some blueberries here. These were frozen blueberries, and they're still a little bit chilled, which will add a nice chill to our finished product, our smoothie. So we're gonna put just a little bit of blueberries and that juice in there. That juice is gonna be really flavorful in the finished product. So we want all of that to be in there. And then we're gonna put in some fresh pineapple. I chopped up a little bit of fresh pineapple earlier, and it's gonna be great because it adds just a little bit of tartness to the overall kind of flavor of the smoothie. Perfect for what we want. So a little bit of pineapple. And the good thing about making this smoothie is you can really just put in however much you want, whatever you like, and go with that. So the next couple of things we're gonna add, I love a little bit of grapes in mine. A little bit of grapes gives it a little bit of a different flavor, a little bit of tartness, a little bit of sweetness, and that's gonna go in there just like that. And we're gonna put a little bit of kind of like a blueberry juice in it, and that's gonna help it to puree. So we're gonna put in maybe half a cup of this blueberry juice. And the next step we need to do is to puree the fruit. So I'm gonna pop on my lid, I'm gonna hit puree, and just like that, it's done. So the next and final step will be simply to add our Greek yogurt. We got some Greek yogurt here, slightly sweet, but perfect for this nice smoothie that we're making today. So a little bit of yogurt in there. And the good thing about this is, if you're looking for something for breakfast, maybe something for a snack or a dessert even, this is a great smoothie for any of those things, so it's perfect. Last thing we want to do is just check to make sure that the consistency is more like a beverage, like drinkable, so looking pretty good. I have some nice cups here. I'm going to serve these right up. And remember, perfect for breakfast, perfect for snack, great for dessert. So whatever you're looking for a smoothie, this is one good idea. There's a bunch of good ideas out there. We appreciate you watching. Thank you for looking again at Perfectly Seasoned.
We're back and glad to have you with us today on Connect. I'm your host, Ladisa Onilagu. Our next guest is Andre Gregory. Mr. Gregory is a program manager for the Fulton County Department of Senior Services. He is also one of our champions of the volunteer initiative that serves two facility-based programs, Adult Day Health and Multi-Purpose Programming. Mr. Gregory, welcome to Connect.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. You're very familiar with one of our department's initiatives, Food to Front Door, where we have an opportunity to take part in the Home Delivered Meals program. As you know, our employees get a chance to volunteer and use their time that's been given to them through the Board of Commissioners to volunteer throughout the year. But can you share with our viewers some of the other department-led volunteer initiatives?
Sure. A lot of the volunteer activities that take place are taking place in our three program areas, such as in our contractual area, we have opportunities for individuals to go in our neighborhood centers to help serve our participants, to help with classes and those kinds of things. We also have initiatives that people volunteer to take home delivered meals to our participants in our homes. So that's a really nice program because those individuals who are home based and homebound, they get to see a new person every day that they can talk to and share things with. That socialization piece is very important. Then we also have opportunities in our multi-purpose facilities. We have individuals who volunteer from our front desk to our classrooms to teach in many of our classrooms of art, dance, fitness, so all kinds of areas of specialties. And we also have individuals who may volunteer for our events that we have in our various multi-purpose facilities. Then our other program area is our adult daycare program area.
Okay.
And that's a really, really nice specialized area. And we do a very good background check on those individuals who want to volunteer in that area, because we have a special kind of population in that area that we want to make sure we get the best out of the programs that we have in our adult daycare program, which also includes classes, art classes, music classes, working at the front desk in our adult daycare program. So there's many opportunities in our department throughout our 3 program areas in which people can come and volunteer and get involved.
Thank you for that information. You and I were talking about your experience in the Department of Senior Services. Share a little bit about with our viewers of your trajectory from a career perspective, where you were before in one of our facilities, and the model that we use for full-time employees, part-time personnel, and then combining that with volunteerism.
I first started my career as multi-purpose facility manager in the department, and it was interesting because when my first day I went to the facility and I thought, wow, this is a big facility. I have a big staff of folks working here with me, and come to find out that probably a good majority of those folks were volunteers. But those volunteers were working so hard and so passionate about what they do that it was hard to distinguish my volunteers from my paid staff. So that was a great opportunity and a great awakening for myself. But a lot of the opportunities that we provide to our staff is for volunteerism is they can go out in the community and volunteer their times, and it goes towards our program that we have here at the county with volunteering and giving back to our community. So we have individuals who have gone to schools to pack lunches. We've had individuals who would go and deliver meals to our seniors. We have people who go into schools and give presentations on job fairs and those kinds of things. So we have a big commitment department-wide in regards to volunteerism and giving back, because that's who we are. We're the Department of Senior Services. We work for the public.
And I think it aligns with what's going on in the country, and some of our viewers may not understand, but our model is not unique to Fulton County government, but there is a mixture of personnel and volunteers because they do find what they love to do and they want to give back.
Yes.
And our program is so important because of our demographic of older Americans, those that are independent, not so independent, and those that require some assistance, or even the homebound seniors. So volunteering is so important. You've talked about our employees that have an opportunity to engage in that. What are your thoughts about volunteerism and its impact on the mind and the body?
Well, has a big impact mentally and physically. Mentally, like I said a little earlier, we have a lot of our volunteers within our facilities who actually teach classes. So a lot of these individuals were professors, they were nurses, they were doctors, and they come back and they're able to keep those skills and abilities sharp. We also have those individuals who are teaching our water classes, our land aerobics classes. So all those skills and abilities they once were paid for, now they're giving back those skills and abilities and keeping those skills and abilities sharp and innovative. In addition to that, you have the socialization aspect of it all.
Yes.
Individuals can still remain connected to their friends, their peers, and still able to feel as if they're giving back to their community. So it's also that fulfillment feeling like, I no longer have to do it, but I want to do it. I want to give back. I want to be a valued member of the community. And then other areas that people don't think about is just advancement, career advancement for volunteerism. If you're looking to advance your career, volunteer your skills and abilities so other people can see them. And not only that, it creates a win-win for the organization themselves. So there's a whole host of benefits. I'm just touching at the tip of the iceberg.
It is. Well, it sounds great because some of our viewers may believe that our volunteers are of a younger demographic, but it's actually a peer-to-peer experience.
Yes.
They heard from Mr. Umstead earlier in the show how he's given back to individuals within his peer group, which helps socialization, as you said. It impacts the mind. We know that research has shown the influence and the impact of volunteerism on the heart, cognitive abilities, and just maintaining a certain level of memory and recall. So we are very glad that you're leading the multi-purpose program at all 4 of our facilities, Benson, Bowden, Mills, and Darnell. And the volunteerism is available to anyone in the community who would be interested in joining. So for our viewers who may have an interest, what would be their first step to start volunteering with the Department of Senior Services?
I would say the first step would be determine how you want to volunteer. What skills, ability, time, what do you want to do, and what do you want to give back? And then figure out what is your commitment? What days can you be commitment? What times can you be commitment? Because once you become a volunteer, especially in one of our 4 facilities, you become a member of our team. And so we hope that you can be committed to those days and times that you give back. And then you want to figure out where you want to give back.
Okay.
You know, what facility of our 4 facilities you might want to give to, or what program area you might want to give to. And the way in which they can do that is by calling our STAR line, or if they're familiar with one of our 4 facilities, just go into the facility, speak to the manager, and they'll get them started through the process.
Is there a standardized process, or do we just let anyone off the street walk into our facilities? What's the protocol that we follow?
Yes, there's definitely a process, a protocol. You know, we have a lot of people interested in giving back, but the win-win is when we can match skills with what the facility needs. And so the process is the individual would come in and they would sit with the manager. They would go through a application process.
Okay.
They would talk to the manager about what they would like to do, and then the manager would think through the programming of the facility and think, where can we use that individual? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It might not be a good fit, but we have so many other kinds of program areas throughout our department that there may be other opportunities that the person didn't know of as a result of the process. So we do have an official process that we take individuals through. And if you want to work in our adult daycare program, then we take it a little step further and we do some other things to make sure that you're most appropriate for the program.
Mr. Gregory, thank you so much for the information that you've shared with our viewers. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I always say, you know, to whom much is given, much is required. And when I think of volunteerism, I believe that fits in there, you know. Given the opportunity to stay healthy and fit and to be able to give back, it's beyond money, it's more of an intrinsic thing. So it adds to your happiness and your life longevity. So I would encourage people, get involved, volunteer.
Thank you so much for your service in this department, to the older Americans in Fulton County government, and to our community.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing thoughts after this break. We are so glad you shared your time with us today. I hope our program connected you with ways to volunteer in your community. It is our mission to improve the quality of life for older adults through the development and coordination of programs and supportive services that encourage independence and enhances overall well-being for seniors, their caregivers, and the community we serve. We welcome your feedback and the opportunity to speak with you further about these and more services. For more information about these programs and our department, please contact us at 404-613-6000 or email us at seniorservices@fultoncountyga.gov. You may also follow us at Fulton Info. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Connect, powered by the Department of Senior Services.